Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning, Question and Answer Friday. We always have a great time. I don't think I say that lightly. I mean it. It's always fun. I love your questions, guys. Questions, okay? No problem. Brahim, let's see, Mike 1 and 2. Now, you guys weren't here yesterday. Andrea, Niagara Falls. And that's my fault, guys, okay? I didn't tell my staff. Eric, Ottawa, Laurie Lee, and Manette. I was looking for Brahim and Mike. Shelley from Baxter. Denise, how are you? Kevin, Oshawa, good morning. And Jocelyn from Baxter. Madeleine, Kippawa, Quebec. Donna from Park Hill, good morning. Beverly, how are you? And Wendy from Markham. And Yolande, bonjour. Jeanette from our staff. Even Jeanette wasn't on yesterday because I fooled her. Fran and Lisa Marie and Grace, good morning to you. Elaine, St. John's, Newfoundland. Wanda from Virginia. And Rhoda from Labrador. Mary from Norwich. And Bonnie, how are you? Little Britain. West Virginia, Darlene. Catherine, Newfoundland. Margie, Kansas. Sue, St. Petersburg, Florida. Valita. Or is that Vanessa first? Sandy, Joni, Alliston, or Johnny. Nellie, how are you? Couple of more. Nancy, St. Thomas. Annette, Nouveau-Brunswick. And Rose, good morning. Marilyn, Edmonton. Karen, Indiana. Sherry, want to sing Mississauga. Luella, West Tennessee. Donna. And Janice, lots of snow. Yeah, I hear that back home. Karen, Kincardine. Carol, Mount Pearl, Newfoundland. Sandy. And Nick from our staff. Margaret, Lakeland. Okay, two more. Sharon, Kansas says good morning. And Debbie, Espanola. Maureen, I had to say, hello, how are you? From Penticton, British Columbia. Okay, let's get to our questions, okay? And I'm going to answer June's. Hold on, there was one more about this too, okay? June and wait a minute here. Sorry, guys. June and Elizabeth, okay? So June is asking, what do you advise when we want to take ubiquinol because we are taking high blood pressure meds, but it says on the label not to take? It doesn't say that. It doesn't say it not to take, okay? Because I have that label right in front of me, and June is asking about ubiquinol, which is the best form of CoQ10. But June, let me read what it says, okay? Consult a healthcare practitioner if you are pregnant, are breastfeeding, or if you're taking blood pressure medications or blood thinners, okay? So it's not telling you not to take it. Look, Health Canada is very stringent. Health Canada's rules for labeling are the strictest in the world. That's a good thing. When Health Canada does its job, I got no problem with that. Not a bad idea. Consult your healthcare practitioner, okay? And it's not because it's not safe. It's because when you're on blood pressure medication or you're pregnant for sure or breastfeeding, Health Canada's got severe warnings on all labels, medication included, okay? And it's doing their job to some extent. Now, like I said, I'm on Health Canada's side when they're fair. Okay? Health Canada be the first people to tell you they know nothing about ubiquinol. There's nobody in Health Canada that works there even that knows what CoQ10 is. I hate to be negative, but they don't have anybody. They did at one time. The strictest rules in the world for to get an NHP number, a natural health product number, is the toughest regulations in the world. And they used to be very good at it, in a sense that if you wanted to sell a product in Canada, you had to provide Health Canada with all the research, all the information, and they were reasonable about it. Now today, anyway, I don't want to get into politics too much. Just to say, and I've made this public, Health Canada now, at the end of the day, I hate to say it, want to get rid of supplements. Because the pharmaceutical industry, and I'm just telling you the truth here, the pharmaceutical industry wants to regulate everything. And they don't care about your supplements. They can't patent any of your supplements. There's no money in it for them. They might sell you vitamin D, but you'll be lucky to get enough for a mouse without a prescription. That's where it's heading right now. And you guys, a lot of you at least, are well aware of that. But when Health Canada says, look, it's a warning on a label, okay? You're on medication. Unfortunately, I would tell you to go talk to your pharmacist, but you know what? I hate to be negative. They just don't know much about it. They're not doing their reading. They're not doing their studying. And so they'll tell you, don't take it. Even though ubiquinol, if you got high blood pressure, that's one of the things you want to be on, is ubiquinol. You want to be on CoQ10. It's actually good for you. And blood thinners, like ubiquinol doesn't, CoQ10 doesn't thin your blood. It's not going to affect that medication. But understand there are warnings, and you got people in there, and they go overboard, in my opinion. But if you want to sell a product in Canada, you have to put this stuff on the label. Okay? But it's not telling you not to take it. It's not telling you not to take it. Okay? Now, Elizabeth was asking about curcumin. And let me just get to her question. But it's along the same lines, okay? Let me get to Elizabeth down here. Can you explain the reason for the caution or warning taking curcumin if it's on a blood thinner? So, you know what, Elizabeth? I answered your question. Whenever you're on medications like blood thinners, they're always going to tell you on almost every medication too, by the way. If you're on a blood thinner, they're going to tell you, like if you read a label about aspirin and you're already on a blood thinner, they're telling you there's a warning on that. Somebody else is asking about aspirin. Why don't I get to that? I saw it this morning. Hold on. Okay, let me just get to the one on aspirin here, because why not answer it at the same time? Okay, here it is, Caroline. Sweet Caroline. I can't sing. They tell me on Facebook I'm not supposed to sing. What does Dr. Martin think of aspirin for blood thinning and high blood pressure? Okay, now, let me tell you what Health Canada and the FDA say about aspirin for blood thinning and high blood pressure. They're saying, okay, this came out years ago. I did a video on this. I don't know if I could even find it. I went and looked for it, but it's been several years. Got to be 10 years ago. Okay? Yeah, it's around 10 years ago. I did a video. It had over 1 million views on aspirin. I did a little teaching. I did a video on it. And it really took off in terms of views. And all I was doing is reporting a new edict by Health Canada and the FDA. They put it out saying the risk of taking aspirin daily, baby aspirin even, 82 milligrams, what the risks of internal bleeding and the side effects of aspirin was not worth taking. The risk outweighed the benefits. That's what I said on that video. And I didn't make it up, guys. This came out of Health Canada, and aspirin, you got to remember, okay? Not so much my generation, although certainly some, but my parents' generation. Aspirin was like a vitamin. They called it like a vitamin A, aspirin. It really wasn't, but, like everybody was taking, it's going to prevent a heart attack. Now, I'll tell you what I like about aspirin, okay? If you're beside someone that you think is having a stroke or a heart attack, take a bottle of aspirin and pour it down their throat. Okay, or one. No, because that has been proven to be very good because it'll break up a clot, aspirin. But to take it as prevention, and I know some doctors still recommend it, but not the FDA and not Health Canada. They say don't do it. Because the risk of bleeding, internal bleeding, the problem with internal bleeding, you can bleed for quite a while and you don't even know it on the inside. Somebody asked, let me get to it because now I'm on this thing on aspirin. Let me just give you, hold on. Somebody asked me a question here about, let me see if, where did I see it? Guys, be patient with me. I'm a senior. Okay, here it is, Sandy. What are your thoughts on eosinophilic? Oh, I hate these. Don't you hate big words? Okay? Listen to this. Sandy's asking, what are your thoughts on eosinophilic esophagitis? Now, I want you to say that fast 3 times, all of you. Eosinophilic esophagitis. What a stupid, I hate Latin. Why don't you just say acid in the throat? Stomach acid that's burning through your esophagus. Ooh. Okay? The big words. But anyway, Sandy, I'm not blaming you because that's real medical terms. But one of the causes of eosinophilic esophagitis is? Aspirin. People who take aspirin all the time. And people who take non-steroidal anti-inflammatories like Advil, and Tylenol, and those kind of medications. Dr. Martin, they're over the counter. And that doesn't make them safe. Okay? And I'm not telling you never to take it, okay? Please, don't come after me. I'm just giving you facts. One of the causes of eosinophilic esophagitis is aspirin. It can bother you big time. Okay? You know what I forgot? Is to put my, I'm a senior. I forgot to put my microphone on. Let me do it right now. Okay, and I'll do this one too. Now, okay, So I hope that answered your question, Sandy. Okay? Listen, most people, okay, they can get that from medication, okay? They can get acid reflux. Here's the number one reason people get acid reflux. It's not aspirin. It can be where you get a real irritation. That acid's been there for a while, and it can be medication. I'm not saying it isn't. I'm just saying it's not the number one reason. The number one reason people get eosinophilic esophagitis is because they're eating the wrong food. Their stomach wasn't made for carbs. Their stomach was made for protein and fat, eggs, meat, and cheese. And guess what? When you eat the wrong food, you change the acidity in your stomach. You have more, or you should have more acidity in your stomach than a lion. Okay? Than a lion. And if you don't use it, you lose it. So what happens? The pH changes in your stomach, and your body is smart. It's going, oh, you're not using the acidity in your stomach. I better make more of it. And your proton pumps in your stomach, you got pumps in your stomach that make acid. And in the absence of it, it'll make even more. And the problem with that is now it starts going up the wrong tube, your esophagus, and it irritates it. And there's millions of people in North America because their name is Tony and they're carboholics. Okay, I'm just using my name. No, but they're carboholics. And they don't eat, well, Dr. Martin, red meat is so bad for you. I heard that yesterday. I said, who said? Your body was made for it. Your anatomy was made to eat red meat. What? Yep, absolutely. So how can I say it's bad for you? It can't be bad for you if your body was designed for it. What's bad for you is when you don't eat it. And anyone that tells you red meat causes cancer, would you please run? Run, Forrest, run. Run. They're crazy. I know you think I'm crazy. Okay, those are such good questions. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so I already covered a few of them there, and I got out of whack a little bit here. Okay. And if someone has non-alcoholic fatty liver, okay, NAFLD, is it best to stay away from high saturated meats such as pork and bacon if they're trying to heal it? If not, why not? You know what, Anne? I love that question. Okay? I love that question because you're thinking and you want answers. Let me just start with this. Okay? You got fatty liver. Someone has fatty liver. Someone you know has fatty. And by the way, most people have fatty liver. They don't even know they have fatty liver. Unless you get an ultrasound or get your liver enzymes, they don't even know it. But here's how you get fatty liver. Not from fat, from sugar, from carbs. That's why children today, unheard of, go in my medical books in the 1970s. Well, first of all, we didn't even study non-alcoholic fatty liver. We studied cirrhosis of the liver. Alcoholics, they got cirrhosis of the liver. But they didn't get, well, they probably started with some fatty liver because alcohol directly to the liver, like fructose.
The worst thing that's ever happened in our planet, one of the worst things, is the invention by man. I was explaining this to someone yesterday. Man gets involved, and mankind does some good things, okay? They do. Man is smart. Why? You're made in the image of God. Okay? You're smart. And some of you are smarter than others. I tell you that every day because you guys, my audience, is smarter. Okay? You win a prize. Okay? But when they invented high fructose corn syrup in the 1980s, it was invented. Corn syrup in a lab. Very sweet, very addictive, and very cheap. Man goes, woohoo! But your body goes, uh-oh. Okay? Mankind goes, is that ever sweet? Woo! And it's a fructose. Must be good. Nope, it's no good. Because it goes directly to your liver. And that's why kids get fatty liver from fructose, sugar. A bad sugar. That's how you make fatty liver. Not from fat, Ann. You eat steak, you don't get fatty liver. You eat pork, you don't get fatty liver from pork. You don't get fatty liver from bacon. Because that's, look, I understand where that comes from because that's what the world teaches you. Fat makes you fat. But they don't know biochemistry. 101. When you eat fructose especially, but any carb, okay, it turns to sugar rapidly. And insulin is your friend. And it goes, sugar, come here, honey. Okay, I don't know if it calls sugar honey, but insulin goes, you can't park in the bloodstream. Follow me. You're in a no parking zone. Sugar can't park in the bloodstream. So when you take a soda, and remember, Coca-Cola and Pepsi-Cola, 1982, changed their sugar. They went from a glucose to a fructose. It went directly to the liver. And I was screaming blue murder. That's what happened. That's how you get fatty liver. Not from fat, but from simple, crappy carbs and high fructose corn syrup. It's in everything. From crackers to ketchup, to cereals. Why do they use it? Cheap, sweet, sweeter than sugar. Okay? Addictive. They hook you. They want to hook your children and your grandchildren and you. They're after you. Why do you think I'm so passionate, guys? Because they lie through their teeth. They lie through their teeth. Liars, liars, pants on fires. That's the food industry. And they've duped the medical community. They have duped the dietitians. They bought them out. That's why you have a heart on the box of Cheerios. It's got a heart on it. Yeah, if you eat this, you will have a heart attack. But they're trying to tell you this is good for your heart. Sugar's not good for your heart, folks. It's not good for your liver. Okay? Now, I know that's a rant, but I'm glad you asked that question, Ann. Because, look, 1% of the population knows what I just told you. 1%. The other 99%, they're you know what, like ostriches, they got their head in the ground, like they can't see. They're duped. Fat is bad. No, it's not. Well, there's bad fat, but not bacon. Oh, Dr. Martin, I had this the other day. Dr. Martin, my doctor says I need potassium. I got to eat bananas. No, you got to eat bacon. It's got more potassium than a banana. Oh, okay. Good question, Ann. Thank you so much. Judy, what about this? Clothing made with a blend of cotton, spandex, recycled plastic bottles. Could this possibly let more plastic soak into our body? Probably. Judy? Look, someone came on the other day and you know, they were, look, I like this because they're challenging me, okay, when it comes to the newsletter. They said, Dr. Martin, you were talking about microplastics in the bloodstream. Isn't that crazy? How did plastic get into bloodstream? And so I wrote a newsletter about it, okay? We did, Tony Jr. He's the brains behind the operation. Anyway, and this lady, and I liked it because she's thinking. She goes, well, you didn't tell us. You left out a very important part. What should we do? Well, I did say what we should do. We should all be on a probiotic, a broad spectrum, because that will stop you from having leaky gut. And if you don't have leaky gut, well, that microplastics can't get into your bloodstream. So, you know, build your immune system up. So I did, but I know what she was saying. She was saying, how do we avoid plastic? Well, look, guys, and look, listen, Linda and Larry, listen. You can't. I'm not saying you shouldn't try. I'm not saying, you know, like if you can get rid of plastic around you and you don't drink out of plastic bottles, or you don't do this and you don't do that, and you wear clothing that's made from hemp. Okay. There's probably some plastic in my stinking hat. It's everywhere. I got my glasses. Boy, are they ever dirty. My glasses are made up of plastic. Petroleum. What are you going to do? What planet are you planning on moving to? Guys, I'm just being honest. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, you know, clean out your kitchen and clean out your bathroom, and you know what I think of xenoestrogens and all those things and microplastics, but guys, you can have a little island on Costa Rica, and I'm sorry, there's plastic there too. It's everywhere. It's in every, what do they call those chemicals? Everywhere, I don't know, there's a name for it, I can't remember now. Everywhere plastic, it's everywhere. Mount Everest, plastic. Placenta, baby's placenta, mommy's placenta, plastic. It's the world we live in, guys. We're never going to get rid of it. Not completely. So what do? Like I always tell you to do, take care of yourself first. You're in a plane, they tell you, okay, I never listen, but when they do, they say, in the event that we lose cabin pressure, your oxygen mask will come down automatically. And then what do they tell you to do? Put yours on first. before you can help someone else. I like that. Okay, I got that memo. Put yours on first, because not going to do you any good if you don't have oxygen. So put your mask on first, and then you help the other person. It's the same with plastic. Do everything you can first. But just understand in your brain, and you can bring this to the bank, you're not completely getting. I've had people tell me that, and I said, you want to get tested? And I want to, you bet any amount of money, you got plastic in your system. Now, keep it out of your bloodstream. That's different. Okay? That's different. Fix leaky gut. That's different. Because you don't want it in your bloodstream. Okay? Do everything you can. But you're never going to be just complete. It's the world we live in, guys. Okay? Now, thanks for the question, Judy. I really appreciate it. And John here is asking, I was going through some of Dr. Martin's podcasts. That makes you smart, John. Okay. And he talked a little bit about cheat meals. Okay. I know where you're getting to, John. He said he actually encourages. Why would that be? Now listen, John. Good question. Smart question. Why does Dr. Martin talk about cheating? Now, some of you out there, okay, and a lot of you, some and a lot, your body is a temple. So you go, you know what? Nothing bad's coming in this thing, okay, other than a little plastic, okay? But you're saying, no. I've made up my mind. I don't eat sugar, ever. Guys, I give you high fives, okay? I give you high fives. But let me say this, and I mean this too. It's your birthday. And they want you to have a little bit of ice cream or a birthday cake. Now look, okay? Don't have a lot of it, but you can cheat. I call that a cheat. Some call it a reward. You've been a good person. You know, guys, look, you know my motto. Give a person a plan to succeed, not to fail. Because sometimes, okay, like some of you are so disciplined. I love you, believe you me. I'm encouraged by you. You know what? Nothing touches your lips. No junk, ever. Good for you, okay? But the vast majority of people, okay, a plan to succeed for them gives them a cheat meal sometimes, a cheat treat sometimes. The overarching principle is, look, you and carbs don't get along. You and sugars don't get along. Okay? Got that? Yeah. Okay? They're in my office. First time. I'm sending you home. Now I want you to do this religiously for 30 days. Do the reset. Dr. Martin, that's tough. You bet your boots it's tough. Because you're a carboholic. Of course it's tough. But afterwards, okay, if you have a little treat, let's say once a week, and I mean little, and I mean not frequently, and that keeps you, you know, on the straight and narrow, I want you to win, not lose. So many people give up. You know why they give up? Because they go, I didn't know. You know why the gyms are full in January and empty in February? Because I didn't think exercising was going to be that hard. It hurts. Yep. Yep. What did I say the other day? Anything that you do that's worthwhile is tough. Right? Is tough. I don't feel like it. Yeah, I know. But when you got a habit, look, that's why, John, I have the reward system. I'm a believer in it, big time. But again, I have nothing but respect for my followers who, no, I don't do it. Because they feel like they're, it's like an alcoholic. No, I can't have any alcohol. Okay? Guys, we're surrounded by sugar. Okay? I live with the best cook in the world. Okay? And I mean it. Numero uno. My wife. And she's Italian besides that. Okay? Like, if you tell me I can never have pasta, but see, like, you have to understand, like, I don't live on pasta at all. I live on the meat and my wife's spaghetti sauce. You would die for it. Get it? You see what I'm saying? I go, yeah, the noodle. Who needs that? Right? All I'm saying is, guys, that's why, John, okay? I don't know if I convinced you, John, but it's the truth, okay? Very, very, very good. Okay, Vera, what does what does Dr. Martin think about hereditary high cholesterol? Vera, what do you think I think? I don't care. I don't care if it's hereditary or whatever. Okay, let me read something to you, okay? Because there was a study, I actually was going to do this week, but I'm going to tell Vera and all our listeners. They analyzed, okay, this hot off the presses, 136,905 patients hospitalized with coronary artery disease. 136,905. I don't know why they stopped there. But they were hospitalized with heart disease, coronary artery disease. Less than 25% had high HDL. Do you think HDL, and less than 25%, high HDL is actually good for you, and high LDL, the bad cholesterol, they call that the bad cholesterol, LDL, low density lipoprotein. Less than 25%. Who cares? It's not even a factor. But this study, I'm waiting to see now. I read it. I want to see if it hits mainstream media. I guarantee it won't. They did an analysis of almost 140,000 people who were hospitalized, and they looked at their blood work. And they had heart disease. And they go, cholesterol. It's not a factor. It's not a factor. 25% had high cholesterol. Who cares? It's triglycerides and having low cholesterol. Was that Vera? Vera, look, I know I'm John the Baptist crying in the wilderness, alone. Not the only one, but very few, okay? I know I go against the grain. But you need cholesterol. Cholesterol is not the boogeyman. How many times and how many podcasts have I talked about this? I never go a week, I'm sure, without talking about the cholesterol hoax. It just doesn't add up. 140,000 just about people in a hospital with heart disease They looked at all their blood work and they go, I guess cholesterol really isn't as serious as we thought it was. Because people who have heart disease, only 25% even had any kind of what we call high LDL cholesterol. They're looking for love, Vera, in all the wrong places. You know when I talked about fatty liver a little bit earlier? Sugar. Sugar elevates fat in your liver. And when the liver is full, the Costco parking lot is full. Okay? No more place to park. You know what the body does? It makes triglycerides. So the same food that's causing your fatty liver is the same foods that turn into triglycerides, and therefore three fat balls, triglyceride, they clog up your blood vessels. Especially in the absence of cholesterol. Because cholesterol, HDL especially, hitches their wagon to those triglycerides and brings them back to the liver where they are processed and where they belong. Back to the liver, get out of the bloodstream, you're going to cause a heart attack. You need cholesterol. It's genetic? Okay. What's that mean? That doesn't make you more susceptible to heart disease. Okay. I got a few, okay, I'm running out of time here, but let me just see. Louise, why does a person's head shake? Mine shake all the time. I'm saying, no, don't eat that, don't eat that. No, I know what you're talking about. You can have a tremor, okay? Hand, the head. Sometimes, not always, those tremors can start because, remember what I was talking about? I know I touched it this week. I can't remember what day. Low B12. Anything with nerves, think B12. Don't eat enough steak. And the nerves, demyelination, okay, of the nerves can start when your B12 is even what they call normal, but it's not high enough, it's not optimized. That can be a factor. Any tremor can be some neurological yeast travels up into the brain with hitching their wagon. You know, cholesterol hitches their wagon to triglycerides. Yeast, fungus, candida hitches their wagon to heavy metal and can bring that, and plastic, and bring it up into your brain. Don't feed the bears and get rid of the yeast. Okay? Good questions, guys. You guys are unbelievable. Okay, what should the creatine levels test be? Well, why? Wait a minute. That's Kathy. Kathy, you can Google that, but let me tell you about creatine. Okay, excuse me, creatinine, not creatine. Creatine is. It's actually good for your muscles. You get creatine, I talked about it the other day, when you eat meat. Your body makes creatine, okay? It's an amino acid. Now, creatinine levels is kidney function. And when they are off, you got kidney stress. And there's nothing, Kathy, will affect your creatinine levels in your kidneys more than sugar. Sugar destroys your kidneys, not salt, sugar. Ask a diabetic. Ask a diabetic. What gets destroyed because their sugar is not in control? Their kidneys. Why is there so much dialysis? Okay? So if you got elevated creatinine levels, your kidneys are under stress and you have to change your diet. Now, you could be on meds too that affect kidneys. Okay? So it's a very good question. And then there's a question, I think I'm done. Hold on. No, there's a few more. I better cover those on Monday. Yeah, there's 3 or 4 more. Sorry. Okay, yeah, ferritin. Oh, soup. It just came to light. Oh, I got to bring this out. By the American Heart Association. I got a headache, so I got to stop, but I'll talk about it on Monday. Okay? I'll finish answering your questions. I love all the questions, and I get sidetracked and, start talking too much, but okay, I can take a breath now. Okay, guys, thanks again. We love you, and I will answer all your questions. Don't be shy to answer you, because sometimes I just don't get to them all in one program, and that's just because I got a big mouth. Okay? I love you guys dearly. Okay? Love my audience. I want you to ask questions. You're smart, 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 smart. And I want you to get into my brain and ask me questions. Okay? Love you guys. Talk to you soon.